This week's waiver wire picks are just as ugly as how the previous week in football just went. Let's get into it. Week 10 waiver wire as it drops. Dilly dilly, y'all.
Holy shit.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. First things first, cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. Let's get that out the way. Ooh. Alrighty. First things first. Look, this show brought to you by monkeyknifefight.com. Get on over monkeyknifefight.com. Download the monkey. I didn't realize this jacket has like a little tint of green in it when I put it on. But get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Promo code Rumboyz. We're gonna go ahead and match you on your very first deposit whenever you enter our promo code Rumboyz. Yeah, that's right, in all caps. Whenever you sign up for monkeyknifefight.com for all of your legal daily fantasy prop action, you're gonna get a match on your very first deposit all the way up to $100 whenever you utilize our promo code Rumboyz on monkeyknifefight.com or the Monkey Knife Fight app. Okay, if you're a laptop person, get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. If you got your phone handy, get on over to the Monkey Knife Fight app, available on both iOS and Android. Also, this show is brought to you by the SportsMe app. SportsMe, it sports you. Link is in the description. What it do? Okay, if you wanna ask a fantasy football question and have it answered by some of your favorite analysts in the industry, interact with a couple of athletes, meet other fans of some of your favorite sports teams, this, that, and the third, even win cash game or even win win cash prizes through our daily fantasy cash games. We recommend you get out there and you try out our daily cash games as well. See what that's about. See if you can get over there and win some shmoney. Let's go. Remember, SportsMe link is in the description. All right, let's dive right into this. So I am doing today's show. I am gonna do today's show a little bit differently for you guys. I know that normally I have like the banners and stuff come up. I'm just gonna show you guys all the stats, show everything. I'm gonna put it up, and we're just gonna go through player by player that way. It's your Fantasy Football Waiver Wire Week 10, 2021. Rosters are barren. Rosters are thin. It is hard out here in these fantasy football streets. But I'm here to help. I'm here to get you guys covered. I'm here to take care of you guys. Everyone for some fucking reason lately is like, oh well, like you do betting. Like no, yeah, bitch, I still do fucking fantasy football. Um, it's just sometimes the two worlds meet. Uh, let's start off right here immediately with Devonta Freeman. Okay, the homie's 25% rostered. He's been having an uptick in his carries. Um, Even before the bye, he was out there for 30% of the snaps in week 6, then 40% in week 7. Then in week 9, of course, it was 58%. It looks like right now he's 25% rostered in fantasy league. So, if you're needing a running back, you're a running back desperado. Okay. You could go ahead and you can take a look at Freeman. Carry the ball 13 times for 79 yards. Real good there. Also added a receiving touchdown. Okay, so you gotta love that. He was targeted 3 times, caught 2 of them for fucking not a whole lot. Okay, it was about 5 yards, for about 4 or 5 yards that he completed for receiving wise. So not a whole lot to be impressed with in terms of pass catching out the backfield. But I mean, hey, that's an 18-point outing. You need that right now. They're going up against Miami. They're going to be going up against Miami. Uh, this week, I believe Thursday night football, we'll be having Ravens, Miami, and then you got Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, um, and then Cleveland again. I mean, so you're gonna need Freeman. This Baltimore team has no running backs basically. It looks like that Freeman is the main guy that they're gonna emerge with and they're gonna rock with out that Baltimore backfield. And yeah, that is Thursday night football against Miami. Again, 25% rostered for Freeman. Um, Another guy I want to talk about. Now, really quick before I move on from Freeman, you could, I guess, like in deep league plays, 14, 20 man, fucking really deep league shit, right? Could maybe go with Le'Veon Bell, but even still, I don't think that I'm prescribing Le'Veon Bell still. Freeman is the man to roster in that Baltimore backfield. Okay. Um, Here's a team that I want to over to really fast. Um, and this team I may or may not rant a little bit. Okay. Um, I may or may not feel a certain way, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, Sorry, you guys just saw me research McNichols. I want to make sure that McNichols was above that 60% rostership. But the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, I know that Jordan Howard is trending up. Okay, I get that he's leading the team in rushing. All right, I get that he found the end zone twice in week 8 and then once in week 9. I get that they're playing against the Denver Broncos, who beat the dog shit out of the fucking Cowboys, but that doesn't mean that that's going to happen again, okay? Or who knows, maybe the Broncos are just really good against NFC East teams, and they just, perform really well. That aside, okay, and with that said, like it's still Jordan Howard. Like I don't know what Nick Sirianni is fucking doing, okay? I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it a thou wow. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Nick Sirianni doesn't know his head from his fucking ass, and I have no ass at all, okay? Except from Nasatal, all right? Nick Sirianni doesn't know his head from his fucking ass. It is insane the way that this man utilizes the running game. For all the way down from the fact that he has a fucking running quarterback that he does not put on display enough for his Konami code-esque skills. When Miles Sanders got injured, Miles Sanders wasn't even being that hot anyways. We were already talking about, trading Miles Sanders, trading Miles Sanders away if you had Miles Sanders on a roster earlier throughout the season, so on and so forth. But then when Miles Sanders goes out, you don't even use the guy that you drafted in Kenny Gainwell. You don't even use Kenny Gainwell. And I know some of you are like, well, what's the status on Gainwell, Robbie? I mean, didn't you roll him out in a couple weeks, this past week? Yes, I had to roll Gainwell out because I was fucking forced to. Okay, 3 points in week 8, 6 points in week 9, and for some reason Gainwell is still 55% roster. Sirianni, I get that you may not give a damn about our fantasy teams, okay? But it looks like you're gonna have to drop Gainwell to go get Jordan Howard at this freaking point. Like realistically, Gainwell's snap share has gone down week after week, especially since Miles Sanders has been out of the lineup. It's almost as if with Miles Sanders injured, Gainwell can't be used. It's like in Sirianni's mind, you two can only be on the field together if you both are healthy. But if one of you are injured, we're not using either Sanders or Gainwell. We're gonna go to this Boston Scott, Jordan Howard type of situation. Even with Boston Scott, right? Even with Boston Scott, who's okay, he's literally right at 60% rostered. Okay, he's right at 60% rostered. He's been seeing a higher amount of snap share. He was 10 for 40 for 4 fucking yards per carry. No touchdowns last week. Like, I guess Jordan Howard's who you have to roster in Philly. And that's so weird to say, and that's so ugly to say in the year 2021. Let's get into Eno Benjamin, guys. Let's get into Eno Benjamin. Now, I know like a lot of dynasty heads are high on Eno. Eno's sitting at 0% roster. So guess what? He's available in all of your leagues. All of you can go and can go and get him. With Chase Edmonds out, you can expect Eno to get the work. Okay, he's going to get work. Expect James Conner to still go off and expect Conner to be Conner, but don't be surprised if Eno does Eno things. Okay, don't expect don't be surprised if Eno goes out there and starts to pop off. Nine carries for 39 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, and a secular touchdown. I am with it's. Hey, here's what we're gonna do from now on. When Eno scores next, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benzos. It's all about the Benzos. I'm liking Eno Benjamin. I think that he could turn into something for your fantasy teams. Not too concerned with Brandon Bolden or Devin Singletary. Singletary's not going to make this list anyways at 66% rostered. I'm just going to cover one more running back, and that's Ernest Johnson. Let me get some water really quick. Excuse me. So Ernest Johnson is going to be the only serviceable option in the Browns backfield this upcoming week for week 10. Okay, it's pretty much just him. To my knowledge, from what we're hearing, you're gonna have Chubb out again. Whoa. Someone saying they need to clear a spot for when Russ comes back. I'm gonna have to answer that fantasy question slightly later. Unfortunately. So yeah, let me Odell Beckham goes completely unclaimed off waivers. Not a surprise, to be honest. I think there's just a lot of hype surrounding that, but we'll see. So it's Nick Chubb, Demetric Felton, and John Kelly all on the COVID-19 list. So Ernest Johnson is literally the only healthy back. All right, there is no Kareem Hunt. All right, there is going to be no Kareem Hunt. Now I get that Ernest had his touchdown streak snap, but I think that we're going to be completely fine. I think that he definitely finds the end zone this week up against New England. He that 8.8 projection will clear up. He's available in 45% of your leagues. Go get him if you can. Like, I feel like if you need a surefire running back for this week, if you got Chubb out, this is how you bounce back. This is where you clear up that mistake, where you clear up that injury, I should say. I'm sorry, and you go Ernest Johnson. Let's get into some wide receiver talk. Let's get into some wide receiver talk. I'm actually gonna bring up the homie Tim Patrick first, being that he's 32% rostered. Tim Patrick keeps having this constant fluctuation with his rostership numbers to where, by the way, I was in that 11% start group. Everyone with Tim Patrick, I think that this is a guy that you keep rostered and you keep him on your bench rest of the season, right? Because if anything happens to Judy or Sutton again, he's the target. Even with Judy and Sutton out there this past week, Patrick was looking really fucking good. like had his best fantasy outing with both of those guys out there on the field. Was out there 62% of the time and went out of his 5 targets, caught 4 of them for 85 fucking yards and a touchdown. The dude looked nice. Tim Patrick has looked nice throughout the duration of the season. He has been giving you double-digit outings. Some have been in the lower, 13, 12s, and stuff like that. He had, week 2, 12.7. You got a 13.2 in week 6. He had a 9.9, 9.4 week in week 8. Cleveland was his worst week, 3.6. I mean, but the guy puts in work. Like the guy puts in work and is almost damn near like, if you're playing like a league that has, 2 flex or 3 receivers, like I don't mind having him as a third wide receiver. Like I don't mind, having him you're talking wide receiver 29. Like, I rocks with that. I fucks with that heavy, bro. I fucks with that heavy. Tim Patrick, I'm putting him out there as a number one waiver priority for receivers. Elijah Moore had a breakout. He's currently sitting at 44% rostered. He had a breakout game for the Jets. Was out there 60% of the time. Caught 7 out of his 8 targets, 84 yards, 2 TDs. He had a 27.4 fantasy outing. They're playing against Buffalo. I don't expect him to break out and go fucking hammers against Buffalo. But what I do expect is that when he has to face Miami, Houston, Philly, and New Orleans, for this Jets team to kind of, really get some things going. I think that Buffalo comes back with a vengeance after getting their backs blown out by Duval this past week. So I think that they take their frustrations out on the Jets, especially that very, very stout defense. And by the way, you get Miami twice. Like you're gonna get Miami in the playoffs. Playoffs. I don't know if you're gonna maybe run Elijah Moore out there in a playoff lineup, but I mean, hey, shit happens, So I'm liking Elijah Moore at 44% rostered. I think that's a guy that you could definitely go out and get. Donovan Peoples-Jones going for 86 yards and a TD. He is 23% rostered. He had a good fantasy outing against Cincinnati, 19.6 fantasy points. Caught 2 out of his 3 targets. Okay. There's no more Odell. Odell's officially a free agent as of minutes ago during this very episode. Him clearing him completely clearing waivers and getting unclaimed. Think that Donovan Peoples-Jones, okay, and then also this guy that I'm about to talk about. By the way, Peoples-Jones sitting at 23% rostered. My homie Anthony Schwartz, Mr. FAO Schwartz. All right, I think that Anthony Schwartz also, he's 2% rostered. I get that he caught 1 pass in that win, one for 15 yards. But I think that Anthony Schwartz could also start getting a little bit of burn too. Okay, look for Peoples-Jones, look for Schwartz, look for these guys to start having some progress in this Cleveland Browns offense. I hate that Deshaun Jackson is even trending. Like why? Like why? Why? Olamide Zaccheaus. At 6% rostered. Zaccheaus has been looking pretty fucking dope. Like they call me Keith because I'm dope. They call me Keith because I'm dope. Sorry, little covering Atlanta and then fucking trap music just gets in my head, even though that was Memphis rap. Homie had 2 TDs. Okay, homie had 2. Two. Okay, I'm with the shits. Zaccheaus looked pretty decent last year. I remember during the offseason, I was like, is it gonna be Zaccheaus that could be a 2, or is it Gage that could be a 2? Gage is more likely to be a 2 because they'll see more of the field, and they haven't fucking used Russell Gage at all. Like, they're not going to Russell Gage. They're not even looking in Russell Gage's direction. Okay. We were all wrong on Russell Gage. It's looking like with the absence of Calvin Ridley, Pitts will be hyper targeted, and Pitts will, kind of do with his opportunities. But the guy that's really making the most out of his opportunities, 3 for 3, 58 yards and 2 TDs. That's making the most out of your opportunities. That's being efficient when the ball is being given to you. You know, I think that's the key. Is could eventually become a focal point of this Atlanta Falcons passing game. Um, gotta mention Rashad Bateman, bro. Gotta mention Rashad Bateman. Um, caught 5 out of 8 for 52 yards. I get that was only good for a 10-point fantasy finish. It's a matter of time before this kid starts to find the end zone, and I want to be ahead of the curve and ahead of the game on this kid before everyone else. Okay. Now, if you were going to ask me, well, Robbie, I need a receiver. Do I go and get Tim Patrick or Rashad Bateman? Bro, you're going to get fucking Tim Patrick. Okay, he's been proving it longer throughout the duration of the season. Okay, but 59% roster. There's a reason why this rostership keeps going up more and more and more week after week since he has been back healthy, even approaching when he was becoming healthy. Okay, I'm really, 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 really enjoying enjoying I'm sorry, fuck. Um Rashad Bateman. There's one I wanted to double check really fast. Um here because I know that I have not talked about him um or covered him. We're gonna go back. Yo, really quick, Dante Foreman getting a lot of getting some red zone looks. 2% rostered. He could be a guy down there in Tennessee if things don't work out with McNichols and AP. Where is it? Where is it? Ah. There is one player I want to make sure that I cover. Okay, yeah, and that is Jamal Agnew, with the receiver position. Okay. Um, Agnew is getting more and more and more work. Okay, he is getting more and more and more and more work. All right, he was out there 54% of the snaps. I mean, compared to the previous week when he was out there 72% of the time, but he caught 5 for 3. Um, he caught 5 for 3 for 27 yards. But I think that Agnew could really start becoming something. I think that Agnew could be a very sneaky deep league flex play. 15% rostered. It looks like that he's gonna be the guy there. Um, because he's completely just outworked Laviska Chenault in there. And then also a running back that I wanted to mention for you guys. Um, I didn't mention him when I was in the running backs is Jarrett Patterson. If he's 3% rostered right now, if things keep looking downhill for Antonio Gibson, look for this to be a deep league play. Jarrett Patterson, I love Patterson. If you can get him in Dynasty, now's probably the time to start doing so. Um, here, all right, let's get back in to these waivers. That wraps up all the receivers that I wanted to cover. There's only one tight end that I really want to fucking talk about. Okay. Well, actually two. Two. There's two, and they both played last night. They both played last night. Well, maybe three. Maybe three tight ends. First things first, Pat Freiermuth. Week 6 against Seattle. They go on by in week 7. Week 8, week 9. He goes from 60%, 78% to 71% of the snap share. He's rostered in 51% of leagues. Each of his last 3 outings, he has produced 20 or more fantasy football points. Last night, he puts up 28.8, goes for 2 TDs, We had our little Pat Fryermuth prayer circle on Twitter that went viral. It's 5 for 6 for 43 yards on those 2 TDs. Pat Fryermuth is probably, more than anyone that I've just talked about, he is probably the number one waiver wire priority. He is the number one waiver priority. I have no problems. Depending on who my tight end one is, running a 2 tight end set in many of leagues. But if I got Dalton Schultz and Pat Fryermuth, oh goodness. Oh goodness. You know, with Logan Thomas coming back, I can run Logan Thomas and Pat Fry. Oh goodness. Some shit. Pat Fry's the real deal. Okay? Pat Fry is the real deal. Cole Kmet finally he got his last night. He's 23% rostered, okay? And he led the Bears in receiving. What's a rookie quarterback's best friend? Their tight end, okay? He had 23.7 fantasy points in his Monday night outing, his Rum Day night outing. 77% of the on-field action of the snaps. Was targeted 8 times, 6 catches, 87 yards. I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay. I want to see more of that out of Kmet. And then the other the other tight end I want to bring you guys' attention. Dan Arnold. Right now he's sitting at 39% rostered. Okay. He's sitting at 39% rostered. He had 26 points in week 8, then 16 points this past week. 7 for 4 for 60 yards. The 60 to 70 yard mark is kind of where we're around about where he's living. Well, where on the high end this season. Take with that as you will. Hard to believe he put up 16 points against a fucking Bills team that just was hot. Was hot fucking garbage. Hot garbage, hot doo-doo. But Dan Arnold, another guy that I'm absolutely, I'm head over heels. I think that it'll be good. 4 for 7, 60 yards. You gotta love it, especially in those tight end premiums. You get that extra boost. And he's been leading the team in catches, receiving yards, and targets over the last 2 weeks. So there's definitely some chemistry brewing between Trevor Lawrence and Dan Arnold. We'll see how that relationship continues to build. Outside of that, the only defense that I want you guys to maybe be looking at, possibly streaming. You could look at Tennessee. They're 9% rostered going up against New Orleans this week. They have been stepping it up. I don't know where all of a sudden the Tennessee defense decided, hey, we're going to be good. You got the Broncos against Philly. Kenny Young looking fucking amazing. Cardinals versus Carolina appears to be a good streaming option as well. In terms of quarterbacks, in terms of QBs, that I want you guys running out there and rostering. Not really like any of these QBs. Like I don't think that you need to run and go get like a Big Ben. Heineke hopefully fucking heads back to the bench at some point. Trevor Siemian, no. Bridgewater, no. Mike White, no. Baker Mayfield. There's not a quarterback that I want you to be running out to roster at this given moment. But outside of that, it's been the waiver wire for this week. Those are the guys that I'm liking, that I'm favoring. Pat Fryermuth is the number one priority for me in my eyes. So make sure you guys go and get him. And outside of that, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the rum boys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. I'll see y'all later. Peace.